And in this one I'm going to be teaching you the basics of Illustrator, and one of them is the shape tool. So the shape tools, we have many of them. We have the rectangle, the rounded rectangle, ellipse, polygon, and star tool. So I'm going to be starting with the rectangle tool. So when you select it, what you can basically do with the rectangle tool is click and hold, and you have a rectangle. Now if I want to change the color of this rectangle, I just go to the fill area over here, click this and choose any random color, something like this, and I have a purplish lilac square, oh sorry, rectangle. So now if I want to add a stroke to this rectangle, I just click on the stroke option and say I want a dark gray stroke. So I just select it and click OK, and on my right over here I have the stroke options. So in case you don't have this, what you can do is go to window and click stroke, and you will have a stroke window somewhere. Alright, so and then if I want to increase the stroke, here I have a stroke of 9 points. Sometimes it shows up in pixels, sometimes it shows up in points, but mostly it is in points, so you need to work with that. Alright, so I'm going to show you a few more steps to edit this rectangle, also how to create a square, a perfect square with all sides equal. So in case you want to create a square with all sides equal, hit the rectangle tool again, but this time hold down alt and shift and click and drag, and you will have a square. Alright, so here is a square with all sides equal. Now if I want to edit any shape, if whether it be the rectangle or the square, I just click on the shape. You don't necessarily need to remove the stroke, but just for to make this tutorial easy, I'm going to remove the stroke. I select this square, and you see the anchor points. These white small squares over here are called the anchor points. So if you want to select any individual anchor point, use the direct selection tool, which is A on your keyboard. So hit A on your keyboard, and these four squares will become blue, which means all these four squares are selected, which you don't want it to be selected because you just want to edit a particular anchor point. So as you know, a square just has four vertices, so there are 4 points, but you can add more if you want to just play around with the shape. Alright, so I hit this anchor tool over here. I just deselected everything and just hit this point right here. So now what I can do with this point is I can play around with it, drag it, stretch it, and I have something like this, which is something different from a square. And I can hold this point as well and get it down right here. So what we have here is already some random shape which you can use your own creativity to modify and make something new. Now if I want to make the if I want to select 2 points, anchor points at the same time, what I need to do is hold on shift on your keyboard, click this point, or any two or three, or how many points you want, and you can move it now together. Also another good thing that you can do with Illustrator with the new version is that you can just select the tool, and you see this round circle over here. You can make it rounded just like this, and now if you can just see like all the vertices or all the corners became rounded. But what if I want to make just one corner rounded? What I need to do is go click the anchor tool by pressing A and click on the any one vertex and hit this round tool, and this time it will just round off only one corner. So isn't that interesting? And so basically that's all, probably everything that you can do with a square. Another thing but you can actually do is hit down the plus key on your keyboard. So with that you can add an anchor point as I told you previously. So I just click over here and I have an anchor point right here. So this time you can hit down A again. First deselect everything by clicking anywhere on the artboard. Now hit A and click this anchor point, and as you can see I have extended the square to another area, which another vertex. I made another vertex for the square which previously did not exist. Alright, so now what if I want to remove this vertex? Simply click the minus key on your keyboard, and you will find this pen tool with the minus button below it, and just click on that anchor point, and the anchor point will go away and you have the previous key. So basically that's all that you can do with your shapes, and you basically have you have other shapes you can play around with, like the square or like the circle. So even in the circle, if you just hold and drag, you will have an oval. But what if you want a proper circle with which is equal on from all sides? I'm sorry, I mean a proper circle. So I just hold down the ellipse tool, and this time I hit the alt and shift, and I have a proper circle right here. So which has a radius, which has the same radius all around. So you can do the same things, and you can play around with the circle as well. By you have the anchor tool, but the anchor tool, you have just four vertices in the circle. You have many vertices, but Illustrator just shows you four. But you can click the plus button again and add another anchor tool just like this, or minus them, something like this. If you want to just go back, hit Command Z, which is always a savior while you're working, so that you can undo your work. So that's basically it for the shape tool. If you learn something new, kindly comment it below in the comments. Also, please subscribe to my channel and share this video, like this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.